Good morning, students. Here we are for the second hour of our English class. As you can see in the background, today we are going to talk about the present perfect. Okay, so you have a video who's gonna explain you everything about the present perfect. Okay, it's not that difficult. I'll let you guys watch it, and then I will get back to you, and we're gonna talk about it. Okay, so have a good time, guys. See you.
Hi, my name is Rebecca, and in today's lesson, you're going to learn how to use the present perfect easily and correctly to ask questions and also to answer. Now, the present perfect does make students nervous. They feel a little bit confused about when to use it, how to use it, and so on. But what I'm going to do today is show you a phrase that you can use that will make it easier for you to start using this tense and include it in your conversational English. There are two ways to learn tenses in English. One is to study the grammar part of it, and the other part is to actually jump right in and start using it. So today we're using the second approach, and I'm going to give you some expressions that you can use in English using the present perfect tense. Okay? So let's go to the board and get started. Okay, so the expression that I'm teaching you today that you can use with the present perfect tense is this one. It's a question. Have you ever? The question, have you ever, means, have you even once in your life? Okay? Have you at any time in your life done a certain thing? And we're going to talk about what those things are. But when we say ever, we mean even once in your life. Okay? So let's look at some examples. Now, as you can see, even though the question starts off like this, have you ever, right? Using the present perfect, which is have. However, you could use regular verb with it, or you could use irregular verbs with it, right? So, if you use have you ever with a regular verb, it would sound like this. Have you ever lived in Japan? Right? Have you ever worked in a large company? Have you ever traveled to Spain? Have you ever played tennis? Or have you ever used an iPad? Okay? So you can see that we could use present perfect. And if the verb that you're using is a regular verb, then you simply use the past tense form, which is usually with D or ED, correct? So that's usually a little bit easier. It becomes a little more challenging when we use the present perfect with irregular verbs. So irregular verbs are those which have a different form as they have the base form, they have the simple past form, and then they have a third form, right? And that's the past participle, which you have to learn by heart. There's no other way to use it, okay? You have to memorize this. And most people remember from school learning this sort of long list of irregular verbs in their three forms, okay? For example, see, saw, seen, right? Break, broke, broken. That third form is what we need to use here. So these kind of questions could be, have you ever been to Tokyo? Right? Not have you ever was, but have you ever been to Tokyo? Have you ever read this book? That means even once in your life, have you read this book? Or have you seen them live? Who's them? In this case, them might be a band that you like, right? Have you ever seen them live? Or have you ever seen that movie, right? Have you ever eaten Mexican food? Have you ever taken the TOEFL exam? Have you ever heard of such a thing? That's an expression that we use sometimes, a kind of a question, a rhetorical question. When we learn about something that seems unbelievable, we say, have you ever heard of such a thing? Maybe somebody's behavior or some kind of a rule or some bureaucratic process that we find unbearable, we say, have you ever heard of such a thing? All right? That's the context in which you might be able to use that question. All right? So have you ever is the key term that you want to use with regular verbs or irregular verbs. And this is a way you can start using present perfect today when you go out and speak English. All right? Now, one other point, and that's the difference between these two words, gone and been. So when we use them in a sentence, it makes a difference if you say, I have gone somewhere or I have been somewhere. And especially if you're talking about someone else, if you say that he has gone somewhere, or if we say he has been somewhere, there is a difference. So let's learn what that difference is. It's really easy. So let's look at this example, right? Where's Marcelo? We could say, he's gone to Brazil. So in this example, where somebody is asking, where's Marcelo? And somebody is answering, he's gone to Brazil, we know that Marcelo is not here. Marcelo is in Brazil, right? Because he's gone to Brazil. He is not here. Now, let's say Marcelo returns. And you're talking to Marcelo. Marcelo and you are in the same room. And you say, hi, Marcelo. Long time no see. Long time no see is an expression that we use sometimes in English when we haven't met someone for a long time. Okay? Hi, Marcelo. Long time no see. So Marcelo says, yes, I've been to Brazil. So when Marcelo says, I've been to Brazil, he means that he went there and now he has returned. So now both of you are in the same place, and when he says, I have been somewhere, it means I went there and I came back. All right? So that's a small difference that you need to know about gone and been. All right?
Okay, everyone. So how was the video? Did you understand? Did you understand everything she said? Do you understand what the present perfect is? Like you can see here in the worksheet, present perfect, have you ever, has he ever. The present perfect has, have, plus past participle is used to talk about our experiences up to the present. So you use the present perfect to ask someone and find out if this person has any time in the past tried this or tried that. Okay? So how does it work? Well, like she said in the video, you need to use the past participle. So you have this in your books. Okay, remember page 116, 117, 118, 119. You have 3 columns, right? The first one is the verbs at the infinitive. I don't know if you can see, but you know what I'm talking about anyway. Then the second column is the past tense, okay, for the past simple tense. And then you have the third column, which is the past participle. And you need to use the past participle when you want to form the present perfect. Okay? So you need to learn them by heart. Okay? There is no other option. Okay? So, if you have your books, you can do the worksheets looking inside of your books. If you don't have your books, then I invite you to go on internet. You have everything on internet. Okay, you just type on Google present perfect verbs, past participle verbs. Okay, and you will find what you need. Okay, so let's see what you have to do now. Complete the sentences using the present perfect tense. Then rewrite the sentences saying what you or someone has already or never done before. Follow the example. Example. Have you ever burnt yourself? I have already. Or I have never burnt myself. Okay, let's do a couple together. Okay, number one, you already have the answer, but anyway, I'm gonna read it again. Have you ever burnt yourself? Okay, so you remember burn, the verb to burn in the past tense is burned, ed, right? Here in the past participle, it's burnt, nt. Okay, number two, what is it going to be? You ever a pony? Okay, so you have you, so it's gonna be question have. Remember, I have, you have, he, she has. So, have you ever, and the verb to ride in the past participle is ridden. Okay, have you ever ridden a pony? Okay, then number three, a friend of yours ever off his bike. So here it's not you, it's a friend. So what are you going to write? Have or has? You need to write has because he has or she has. Okay? So HAS. Has a friend of yours ever, and verb to fall in the past participle is fallen. So, has a friend of yours ever fallen off his bike? Okay? So, this is what you need to do. Okay? So, you do everything here. All right? Tuck, 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 tuck. And you are good. All right? So, please press pause now and do it, and I talk to you in a bit. Okay, see you guys. Okay, now that you are done with your first worksheet, I have a second worksheet for you to do. Okay, all right, let's have a look. 13 questions. Have you ever? Okay, so you have ride a horse, eat frog's legs, see a ghost, go to Disneyland. Okay, and then you have a second one here. Okay, so you have student A and student B. So I need you to do this with someone. Okay, if you have a brother, if you have a sister, do it with them. Okay, if you don't have a brother, if you don't have a sister, ask your parents, your grandparents. Okay, find someone to do it with. This is not difficult. Okay, remember, question, have you ever? Answer, yes, I have. No, I haven't. Okay. And that's it. And then how to write the questions, where again it's in your book, page 116, 17, 18, and 19. I can give you one here. So question, have you ever, have you ever ride in the past participle, have you ever ridden a horse? Okay, so you write your question, you write everything. When you are done, you go ask. Okay, you go ask your friend, your brother, your sister. Okay, so I'm gonna answer for myself. Have you ever ridden a horse? And me, I'm gonna say yes, I have. Okay, so this is for your speaking activity, so please do it. Okay, and that's it. We are done with that. Okay, so I see you next time for the next lesson. Okay, have a good day, and again, take care of yourself. See you guys.